What's going on, CDL fans? It's time to update the power rankings after week 2 qualifiers. On screen, as always, this is my rankings from last week, so you can see where our baseline is. And then we hop on over to the new power ranking sheet. As you can see, this is on February 27th. That is when I'm recording and uploading this, just in case you're watching this anytime later. Some of the big news, honestly, is the league is super top heavy. We kind of expected this coming into the year, but the top 4, I think, are so far ahead, at least on the standings, than the rest of the league. The bottom had a little bit of a shift this week, which is very interesting. And also, I'm going to be watch partying matches on Saturday and Sunday here on the channel. If you want to hang out, we are going to play some viewer 8s before and after the streams as well. So definitely come on Saturday and Sunday and hang out with us. But let's just kick right on into it with number 12, which is the Seattle Surge, down 2 spots from last week. In my opinion, Seattle are far and away the worst team in the game. They replaced Illy with Brezzy. Obviously, there's a lot more to that than just like, oh, Illy was playing bad, because of course he was their best player. So unfortunately for them, they have just looked really, really, really bad, especially in respawn. They're still able to win search and destroys here and there, which is very typical out of them. They have a good search and destroy team, but when it comes to respawn and competing with literally any team in the league, I would take them to lose every single match they have coming up. Then at number 11, down 2 spots as well, is the Miami Heretics, another team that after their roster change, bringing in Eric Boom, have just looked really, really bad. They are a bit more competitive than the Seattle Surge, hence why they're above them, but they lost in the Game 5 Round 11 to the LA Thieves. They just have not looked good. The entire team has looked very hit or miss so far, these qualifiers, and they haven't won a series, I think, since like week 3 of Major 1 qualifiers. I think they went 0-2 in week 4, and then they went 0-2 at the Major, and then they're like 0-3 or 0-4 now. It's really, really bad. They got to figure it out. But speaking of LA Thieves, I have them up 2 spots to number 10. This might be a little bit of a big jump because the Thieves just won their first series in a very long time. But I think they're definitely better than Seattle Surge, and they just beat Miami, so I think they're slightly better than them at this moment in time. Like I said, there's a shift in the bottom part of the league, and Thieves, honestly, they only jump up mainly because the other 2 teams look worse than them, not even necessarily because they look better. But I do think Thieves have earned their way up 2 spots into number 10. Then at number 11, another team down 2 spots. It is the LA Gorillas. I still have them above LA Thieves because they still show some promise. They're able to dominate OPTIC on a Karachi hardpoint this past weekend. And obviously, they beat LA Thieves every time they play us. So I'm going to have Gorillas still at number 9. This is a team that honestly has just been struggling. And I want to see them pick it back up because they showed some promise during Major 1 and stuff like that. But overall, they've just been pretty disappointing. Like I said, literally everybody outside like the top 4 has been really disappointing in my opinion for the most part. Then coming in at number 8, up 3 spots, are the Royal Ravens. This is another one, more a case of other teams falling, more than them being really good and rising up in the standings. I just think they've looked better. They just beat Seattle this past weekend. Overall, Ravens just look a bit more competitive than some of these other teams, which is why they are moving up. But like I'm going to keep saying throughout this video, I do not think that Ravens jumping up 3 spots is anything to look too much into. It's just because other teams have been really bad. Then coming in at number 7, down 1 spot from last week, is the Boston Breach. Boston went 1-1 this weekend. They got 3-0'd by the New York Subliners, which was pretty bad. They kind of just got destroyed in that one. But they were able to win their other match this weekend. And I think Boston is a very solid team. They are one of the few teams who look better out of this bottom 8 teams compared to the top 4. They definitely look better than they did after their roster move bringing in NISSIM. I am enjoying watching this team, and I definitely think this is the team to watch out for at Major 2 to maybe make a little bit of a run. Then at number 6, this team has been on the rise. It is the Las Vegas Legion. Everyone doubted them after their roster move, bringing in Gio for standing, moving Purge to an SMG and keeping him around. But they have been on a roll. They are 2-1 now, I believe. They won 2 matches. They obviously 6-0 Toronto Ultra and SND. Ultra was the best SND team in the game, in my opinion. They ended up losing the series either way, but to even take a map off of the best team in the game, Toronto Ultra, is really typical out of the Las Vegas Legion. And I definitely think out of every team outside of the top 4, Legion has looked the best, which is why I believe they're 4th in Major 2 standings right now. They would have the 4 seed going into the Major if it was, if we were going into the Major right at this time. So definitely shout out to Legion. They're proving the haters wrong. They've been looking really, really good. Purge looks more comfortable and impactful on that secondary sub. So major shout out to Legion. Then coming in at number 5, finally a shift in our top 5. It is going to be the Minnesota Rocker, down 1 spot. They're 0-4 on the qualifiers. honestly, for me, the only reason they don't fall any further is just because they looked really good in Major 1. I mean, they got top 4 at the Major. So I think just what they've done in the past is keeping them above the likes of Legion, because Legion looked really bad, and then now they're looking really good. So they've kind of flip-flopped in their performances. But I still am going to give Rocker the edge just because of how good they were in the first Major. And then I think you kind of can tell what the top 4 are going to be at this point. Number 4, the subliners. There should be a green arrow here. I forgot to put that. That's my bad. But the subliners are up 1 spot. And then it's OPTIC, FAZE, Ultra. I don't think this is much of a surprise. I think this is still just kind of your top 3, top 4. Subliners moving up into the top 4. OPTIC, FAZE, Ultra staying where they're at. FAZE did lose to subliners. If you wanted to make an argument of putting OPTIC over FAZE, I guess you could based on recent performances. But FAZE did beat OPTIC 3 times already this season, so I'm going to still give them the nod over OPTIC and put them at number 2. But yeah, this is the power rankings. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you disagree heavily with any of these choices that I made, where you would have someone different. Definitely put it down in the comments. I want to see what you all are looking at. But this is my power rankings as of February 27th after Major 2 Week 2 qualifiers. Like I said in the beginning, come around to the watch party this weekend. We've been averaging like 12 to 15 viewers every single stream. It's slowly been rising. We had a bunch of people playing viewer 8s and some party games over this past weekend, so the more the merrier. I'm looking forward to seeing as many of you there as possible this coming weekend on Saturday and Sunday. Won't be live on Friday. I have to work my 9 to 5, so I cannot stream. But Saturday and Sunday, I'll be live, and I really hope to see some of you there. With all that being said, sub to the channel, drop a like, and I will see you all in the next video.